My name is Dr. Bonnie Jacobson. I'm a clinical psychologist. I'm an adjunct professor in the Applied Psychology Department at New York University, and I'm a relationships expert. I've been studying and working with couples for over 40 years, and everything I know about couples I have developed into this book I've just written, which is the legacy for my life. It's called Choose to Be Happily Married: How Everyday Decisions Can Lead to Lasting Love. And what I've learned over my lifetime working with couples is that we are really the choices we make. The choices that we make actually determine whether we have a happy life or a miserable life. And this book will give you a roadmap to all of the imperceptible everyday choices you're making, your husband's making, I'm making, your mother's making, that can either lead to a big wall between yourself and another person, a barrier, or a picket fence, a boundary. To visualize a picket fence means that you keep a personal space for yourself that's just for you, and nobody else can go in there. Not your husband, not your children, not your mother or father. It's your private space. But because it's a picket fence, it allows complete flow and connection between yourself and anyone you want to connect to. I would say the biggest problem that I see within the patients that I have, and even in my own life, is that it feels so good to blame another person when you're miserable, rather than take personal responsibility for the part that you're playing in the disconnect. I'd say that's the biggest problem. And every time I blame another person, every time you blame another person, we're creating a huge barrier to connecting to that person. When it comes to happily married, I believe that once you've selected a person that you want to be with the rest of your life, and perhaps created 1 or 2 or 3 children, you have a huge responsibility. I think that over 50% of all people in our country in America get divorced, and it has a very traumatic effect on children. It rips them up from the foundation of their being, and the rest of their life, they have to deal with that kind of damage that we've then put upon these children who we love more than anything in the world. So it's not necessarily, for some couples, obviously, they are not well matched, and it is not a good idea for them to stay together. But in general, what I have found, and certainly in my practice, that the more people study the part they're playing in the disconnect between themselves and their partner, the more they're willing to change something that's going on within themselves, the more it influences the couple, and they end up having happy marriages, maybe 6, 7, 8 types of marriages within a long-term love relationship. And over a lifetime, it's so much more gratifying to be married and sharing all the joys and the pain of raising children as well as a lifetime together. It's much more gratifying. The last chapter of the book, the last turning point, is called Knowing the Difference Between Happiness and Joy. And to have a joyful life, the new research that just came out from the University of California at Berkeley is that Darwin, all of these years, has been misread, and that survival of the fittest comes about through cooperation, through collaboration, and through social intelligence for animals, with plants, and through people that we are with every day, through our love relationships, and even through the people that we work with. And that having this hierarchical, competitive, dog-eat-dog image of survival of the fittest is an absolute misreading of Charles Darwin.